Welcome to Sunday School. Well, not Sunday School because you might not be watching it on Sunday because it wasn't posted on Sunday. But welcome to our time to talk about special stories in the Bible. Today's story is about a kid named Joseph, and it's the first story because you're gonna have another story of you should have in your packet another story of Joseph, but this one is the first one and it's titled Joseph 1. But first, I am going to show you two images, and I want you to watch to observe them like really well because I'm gonna ask you questions about the images. This is the first image. This is the first image. What do you see? There's a mom and there are two kids. And one of the kids, it's around the mom's arms. And the other kid, are you looking at the boy? Observe his face. How do you think he feels? But I want you to also observe the girl's face. How do you think she feels? Do you notice that she has a halo on top of her head? What do you think that might be or that might mean? I think I thought that when I saw the picture, the image, I thought that this girl was getting a very special attention from mom or from auntie or from older sister. She was getting special attention. And I was wondering, how does it feel to get all the special attention? How does it feel? I know that many of you have siblings, brothers or sisters. How does it feel when you are the one getting that special attention? How do you feel? Do you feel proud? Do you feel happy? Do you feel special? How does it feel when someone else gets all the attention and not you, like totally someone else? How do you feel? Maybe you feel like this little boy. And this little boy looks like sad, different from the girl. The girl has a big smile. She is happy because she's getting mom's or big sister's hug or embrace. But this little boy, he feels like sad, like left out. Do you feel like that when you don't get all the attention? Sometimes when we don't get all the attention, we get jealous and sometimes angry with the person that's getting all the attention. That happens. And sometimes between brothers and sisters, between siblings, they get mad at each other, like this other image. They're mad at each other. We don't know why, but sometimes when we don't get the attention or when someone else doesn't get the attention, that's how we react. I'll tell you a story. My mom tells me that when I was 3 years old, I am the oldest in my house. I have two younger brothers. Well, they're not that young now, but you get my drift. So I am the oldest brother, sibling. And when I was 3, I had one brother and I think he was like 1. I was 3. He was a baby, a newborn baby, and he was in the playpen. And my mom tells me that I used to get so jealous, so angry at him, that I would pinch him. When my parents weren't looking at me, I would put my arm inside the playpen, like get my arm inside the playpen, and I would pinch him, and he would cry. That's a very mean thing to do. But my mom said that I was jealous because my baby brother was getting all the attention. And sometimes that happens, and sometimes we feel like that. I felt like that. At least my mom told me so. Don't remember. So today's story is about a big family. A big family with a lot of brothers. Did you watch the video? If you did, then we can talk about the story. But if you haven't watched the video, go and watch it. The video is always going to be the first thing that you're going to watch. Well, this group of brothers they were Jacob's sons. Do you remember Jacob from last lesson and the previous one? The one that had a brother that's name was Esau, and he had to flee because he betrayed his brother. And then he had to wrestle with an angel from God and got his hip broken. Well, this same Jacob had 12 sons. He had daughters, but the story is about these 12 sons. And especially the story is about the youngest son, which name was Joseph. Look at Joseph here. This is Joseph. Jacob had a favorite son. Guess who it was? You guessed it. Joseph was Jacob's favorite son. And the other brothers, even though they were older, way older than Jacob, they were very mad at Jacob. Just like I was mad at my brother, they were very mad at Jacob. But do you remember Joseph's special present that he got from his dad? Yeah, it looks something like this. A robe, a very special robe. And it was very special because it was so full of color. It was an expensive robe because back then, people didn't have colorful clothing like you and I. They had the color of their clothing was basically the color of the animals because they used their skin to cover themselves, to make their clothing. But to have a very colorful robe, it meant that they had to use very colorful, but no, not very colorful. A lot of colors. They had to dye the fabric with a lot of colors, and those were very expensive. Only rich people had this type of colorful clothing. So they were so mad at Joseph when he got that robe. Have you ever felt jealous at someone? They felt like that. Do you remember where they put Joseph? In a pit. Yeah. How would it feel to be at the bottom of a pit? I mean, that is scary. Have you been at the bottom of a pit? Neither have I. But that would be scary. Scary. But there's a story, and I'm going to read it to you. It's called Over His Head. Joseph showed up on our scene at the age of 17. 11th of 12 sons but he made his brothers green. His father loved him most, and he liked to brag and boast about his hazy, crazy dreams and his fancy, dancy coat. Yeah, remember he had dreams, and he liked to boast about them to his brothers. Not very nice. Each eve, with eyes closed tight, after saying his good nights, Joseph's sleep was filled with vision that his brothers didn't like. Joseph dreamt of stars and grain, but the meaning was the same. His family would bow down, and over them he'd reign. The dreams that Joseph had to do with him being the leader over them. And he wasn't supposed to be the leader because he was the youngest one. While his brothers watched the sheep, Joe laid back, kicked up his feet. Go check your brother's son. Go check your brother's son. So Joseph hit the street. He wasn't doing anything, and his brothers were working. He thinks to him, we're gonna bow. That's after he talks about his dreams. He thinks to him, we're gonna bow. He thinks his dreams are ending now. Well, we think his dreams are ending now. Let's take him out for good. We'll say a beast was on the prowl. Brother Reuben spoke up quick. Let's not kill him. I'd be sick. It would make Dad even sicker. Instead, let's play a trick. There's a deep pit to the right. We'll give Joseph a big fright. Creep, 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 then thought. All around was dark as night. Hello? Good Joseph. Hello? Hello? There was no response for Joe. It was dark and cold and dry, and he was feeling pretty low. For Joseph. As the brothers lounged nearby, they were feeling pretty sly. Brother Judah thought again when he saw camels passing by. What if instead we sold our brother Joseph for some gold? If we give him to that trader, he won't be left out in the cold. Sounds good. Joseph's fate was now decided. He would be sold as a slave. Even living as a servant would be better than that cave. And the story will continue next week. I'm telling you, it's better. That was better than the cave. But regardless, I want you to look at Joseph. I know that you have a story, just a story pamphlet, just like this one. Let's look at Joseph. Let's look at how many faces throughout the story he has. He shows a lot of different feelings. First, he is like really glad. He is happy. And if you remember the video, you're going to remember those faces. Then he was scared and very depressed and very sad. Well, his brothers had just, thrown him to the pit. And then, let's see if I see another face. Oh, he was surprised. He had been sold as a slave. He was scared too. What does your face look like when you feel like him? Do you feel how does your face look like when you're sad? Mine looks like this. How does it look your face when you are feeling happy? Mine looks a little bit like this. But also it's good to use words. So what words do you use to tell other people how you feel? That's important because people don't read minds. And if you want to communicate with your parents or your siblings, how are you feeling? You have to use words. So when I feel sad, I use the word sad. Or I use the word happy. Or I use the word angry. Those are emotions, and each emotion has a word, and it's important for us to use the right words. But we have a craft, and this craft is called attention getting streamer. Interesting. So what we're going to do is that we are going to, where are they? Oh, the first thing that we're going to do is that we are going to put here, we're going to draw here whatever dream we've had. Remember, just try to remember a dream and write it. Then make a drawing about that dream. But also make a drawing of the things that you do to get special attention. Maybe you clean your bedroom. Maybe you help mom do the dishes. So that's a good, maybe you study for tests and you have A's and B's and good grades. Make a drawing about that. But the craft for today, oh, I'm sorry, missed something. And here we're going to make a drawing of something that makes you feel happy. Or make a drawing of your face. Make a drawing of your face. How does it look when you're happy? And one when you're sad. After we do that, we're going to go to the back of this pamphlet and we are going to cut where the lines are, where the blue lines are, okay? After we cut them, first let's color them. That's important. First, we're going to color them, each column, this one and this one and this one. Each we're going to color in different colors, with different colors. So you're going to be using markers or crayons, but also you're going to need, of course, scissors for this craft. You are going to need tape. You are going to need, if you don't have tape, just use glue. And we're going to need either you have tissue paper, colored tissue paper, or maybe you have construction paper. So what we're going to do is that we are going to cut, after we color, we're going to cut here on the blue lines. And we are going to color these also in different colors. Use your imagination. Also, color Joseph. Yeah. After you do that, you're going to cut it. Like I'm doing. Mine, I'm not going to color right now. But after you color them and you cut them, and the strands too, You can cut extra strands from your tissue paper or your construction paper. After you cut them, mine are yellow, red, blue, green, and orange. You're gonna use the tape, and on the back, not on the Joseph side, on the back, you are gonna tape them like this, each and every one of them. The first one, and also the ones that you cut. These ones. The yellow one. So these are attention getting streamers. That means that when you need something, when you need someone to pay attention to you, instead of yelling, screaming, being naughty, you're just going to shake this. And I know that at some point, if they take it seriously, mom and dad are not gonna like me so much. So after you tape them, this is what you're gonna do. They're supposed to look like this, even with more, because you're gonna color these and you are gonna tape them just like did mine. And now what we're gonna do is that we're gonna roll this to make it look like a stick. Like this. And we are going to tape them. Tape it together so it stays. And there you go. Pay attention, kids. Pay attention. This is your attention-getting streamer. Cool, huh? Well, before we end our session together, we're going to close with a prayer. Repeat after me. Dear God, thank you for giving us your attention and love always. Amen. Well, see you next week with the continuance of our story. Bye-bye. Ow.